The Kendall Frost Marsh is a slice of San Diego's past. The sliver of wetlands tucked along the northeast portion of Mission Bay represents the last of what used to be thousands of acres of salt marsh. City officials stripped away that habitat over 3 decades as they created the nation's largest aquatic park. The marsh sits right beside a recreational vehicle park, Campland on the Bay. Project manager Jacob Gelfand says the business has served campers for years.
This is a place where families introduce their kids to the importance of protecting the natural environment. Campland on the Bay has coexisted successfully with the existing Kendall Frost Marsh for decades now.
But Campland's location is problematic. The RV park separates the existing marsh from Rose Creek. That stream should funnel sediment and water into the wetlands. The Mission Bay Master Plan says the Campland site should revert to natural habitat when that facility's lease expires. A 3-year extension means that likely happens in 2020.
Campland on the Bay is an important economic driver for the city of San Diego, contributing nearly $3 million a year in lease and tax revenue for the city, and providing over 150 jobs.
Gelfand says the park's $70 a night fees are significantly cheaper than other vacation spots along the water in California. He would like to keep the park where it is, but Gelfand has already lobbied city officials to move to the other side of Rose Creek. A long and expensive legal fight with the city has finally emptied what was once a rogue trailer park on the De Anza Cove Peninsula. Gelfand sees a chance for Campland to take over the now largely abandoned property.
The Mission Bay Park Master Plan recommends that in the event that the use of Campland's existing site were to change, that the peninsula of De Anza Cove would be an ideal location for to transfer Campland's lease potentially and to continue providing affordable waterfront camping, in part because historically both this site and the peninsula of De Anza have been used to provide affordable overnight accommodations and waterfront recreation.
The master plan actually says that Campland could move to De Anza Cove, but city officials have said publicly the master plan doesn't provide specific guidance for the area. The De Anza Peninsula and Cove are not only coveted by Campland, but environmentalists also see opportunity here. This is prime property for the return of Mission Bay's traditional salt marsh habitat.
So everything you're seeing here is man-made. This was not a bay and a peninsula. This was salt marsh. This was wetlands. If you think of like Tijuana River Estuary or up at the North County Coastal Lagoons, that's what was here.
Rebecca Schwartz-Lusberg leads an effort called Rewild Mission Bay. She's walking along the narrow band of sand that rings De Anza Cove. The Audubon Society group wants to soften the man-made footprint on this part of the bay. Storm drain outlets foul the water, and poor water circulation keeps pollution in this part of the bay longer than in other areas. She says a sustainable swath of wetlands here could change the dysfunctional man-made ecology. Wetlands would help filter dirty runoff that drains out of nearby neighborhoods. Since the city is reconsidering the future of the De Anza property, she says the timing is right to remake this area.
Right now, almost the entire bay is commerce and recreation. And the Rewild project would return about 5% of that back to the environment. So still really skewed towards commerce and recreation, but more balanced than it is now.
Schwartz-Lusberg says Campland can move its business to any part of Mission Bay, but De Anza is the only place the city can build a sustainable wetland area for people and wildlife. She says camping could still find a home here. It just can't be crowded around the water's edge.
But it has to actually be done correctly, where you have a transition of the highest intensity use farther back from the habitat areas. So your things like tent camping and picnic areas right next to the beaches or the wetlands, and your RV camping or your buildings and facilities set farther back.
City officials have been working with the community for more than a year to develop some options. The first round of suggestions were heavy on protecting recreation around the area, but light on expanding the reach of natural habitat. Schwartz-Lusberg hopes that this is different when the city's second set of alternatives come out this week. But the city is being very secretive about those plans. San Diego officials declined several requests to speak on the record about the process. The city's communication staff pointed KPBS to a website that outlined the general parameters of the project. City planners didn't want to discuss the project until their redevelopment options are revealed this week. The public will get a chance to weigh in at a hearing on Thursday night. Erik Anderson, KPBS News.